Very good. Going live here just a couple of minutes early, as always, to make sure everything's working right. I have to be my own production engineer here and my own makeup artist for on-air production standards. Oh, this looks terrible. Did a haircut. Of course, we have audio almost ready to go here. Hard to imagine. Time flies when you're having fun. Almost ready. Very good. You're the only one waiting, Michael. Too bad you missed the breakfast. Yep, there we go. It's 8 o'clock. Good evening is the frequency in use. Very good. Good evening. My name is Paul, K4PEW, Net Control for the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net. Is there any emergency or priority traffic? Nothing heard. If you do have emergency or priority traffic, call police, fire, emergency 911. And if you can't do that, call us. We'll help you out. You can break in at any time for that. Information on the web. You can see us on our website. That's our net. Our website is 146415.net. That's 146415.net. Or you can see us on our Yahoo group under MJ. That's Mike Juliet _ Sierra Sierra. Or you can write me at K4PEW at ARRL.net. It's Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey at Alpha Romeo Romeo Lima November Echo Tango. The net meets at 8 p.m. every Wednesday and Saturday night, and we're on 146415 in the rare event you might be off frequency. Purpose of the net is to support and train ham radio operators for ultimately emergency communications, but that happens so infrequently. We like to have fun in the interim, and having fun means working Simplex. Everybody tends to improve their systems, which is kind of the goal in ham radio. It's a hobby where, well, nobody's ever happy in a hobby until they get better and better, I don't think. But anyway, we invite everyone to announce amateur radio events, activities, training, and support of the local communities as a directed net, and all traffic should be coordinated by net control. Is there any announcements? Okay, big announcements, of course, tonight are, this is Saturday. Today's net is brought to you by, no, it's not brought to you by anybody. It's we will immediately following the 2-meter net where we are right now. We'll be doing the buy, sell, swap, and swindle net. And if anybody's got anything to sell or buy. And then we also have followed up by the 2-meter upper sideband on 144.240. It's 144.240 upper sideband. That's the sideband portion of the net. Been doing pretty good. We had 8 or 9, I think, last week, which is kind of cool. Started out with just a handful, and we're getting a little bigger. And other announcements would be, let's see, we've got Tuesday night, there's an emergency preparedness net. I'll be sending out it's at 8:30 on Tuesday nights, and that's there's 2 repeaters in Wilson County. I'll be sending out a notice on that. I don't have it right in front of me. Also, we have, what else do we have here? We also have, let's see, the Ides of March one was today. We missed that one, but the next that I know of, the next big ham fest is in Sevierville, and that's on the 30th of this month, and that would be next Saturday in Sevierville. If you want to make the trip over to Sevierville, you can look that up on the web as well. That's you can either look at ARRL, or you can look it up under the Sevier, SEVIER County ARS. That's Alpha Romeo Sierra.org. It's all one word, Sevier County ARS.org. I think that's it for now. Anybody else have any information on more things or telling me what I just said was wrong? And the other announcement was we had a fantastic breakfast this morning over at Barbecuties. I don't remember the count, but it was around 14, maybe 15 folks showed up to have a good time for our second of our twice monthly breakfast over there at Barbecuties in Mount Juliet. And I believe everybody had a good time. Nobody fell asleep. Nobody got kicked out. And police only showed up once. So it sounded good. And it was a good time, I think, was had by all. I'll hear other reports on it, I'm sure. If you missed it, remember, second and fourth Tuesdays of every month, we have breakfast over at Mount Juliet Barbecues. There's no secret handshakes, no dues, no minimum, no cover. All right. Any other corrections, additions, deletions, etc.? Remember, after this is the buy, sell, swap, and swindle net, and then, of course, followed by the 2-meter upper side band on 144.240. All righty, then. Well, I guess we'll jump right in there. And this time we are starting from the east. Please come in.
WA4 is that I tie.
Hey, James. See you. Got in there first again.
Well, Richard had his chance last time.
Yeah, well, now he's got a big signal. He's going to be upset.
Well, I purposely stood back from him last time.
Yeah, that's right, you did. All right, well, very good. Good to have you in there, James. That's James. That's Whiskey Alpha 4, Zulu Hotel India. He's right here in Mount Juliet, east of the library. Great signal. For an indoor antenna, you do fantastic. Who else is out there east of Mount Juliet Road? Anybody east of Mount Juliet?
C4TWF.
Hey, Wes. How are you? You still copying James?
I am. I'm on the direct, so I got some noise tonight, but I always hear James.
Yeah, you're a little noisier than normal, although your audio is okay and it's readable.
Yeah, it's the beauty of FM. But no, I kept it on the Omni tonight, but I've got some noise. I'm not sure where it's coming from.
Well, I heard it earlier on somebody else on Simplex over to the west, over there in Las Casas.
Yep. All right. Well, I'll be standing by listening to K4TWF.
Yeah, very good. Appreciate it, Wes. That was Wes, who was at the breakfast this morning as well, as was James, and that's Kilo Echo 4 Tango Whiskey India. Good to have you on the net again. Who else? East of Mount Juliet. Now, when we come back, so it's not to fear. You can always check in on late check-ins. We'll move up to the north then, north of Lebanon Road. Please come down. Well, it's going to be a short net. North of Mount Juliet Road, please come down. Or north of Lebanon Road, excuse me.
WV0NLO.
Hey, it was good to meet you finally, Mark. Good to have you at the breakfast this morning.
Yep, enjoyed it, Paul. Nice to see you. I've watched you so many times on YouTube. It felt like I'd known you forever.
Yeah, that's the trouble with being a YouTube personality. I guess. I don't know. A friend of mine, I don't know if you heard me say that this morning. A friend of mine who lives in Florida, he just discovered, my YouTube site. I don't know how. Maybe he'd seen it before. First time you mentioned it in an email, and he said, "You're trying to be a YouTube star. I can't believe you have that many videos up there." And I said, "It's hard to be a YouTube star when there's only 30, 25, or 30 views on every net. It's not exactly stardom."
No, it's not exactly stardom. Some of these people are just crazy, and you're just not doing enough stupid stuff.
Oh, you mean I'm doing some stupid stuff? Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say that.
No, I know. No, it's as I explained to him, I said, the net is really, they don't need me, but I think the meter is useful, and I think that it adds another tiny source of entertainment and feedback. That information is hearing what I hear and seeing the signal that I'm getting on my, signal strength meter. I think it has value to people.
Yeah, it does. It keeps it interesting anyway. Keep changing it up a little bit, so that's good. All righty, well, have a good evening. It was good to see you this morning.
Yeah, very good, Mark. Glad to have you at the breakfast this morning. That's Whiskey Bravo 0 November Oscar in Hermitage. another breakfast goer. Who else? North of Lebanon Road.
I guess that would be me. KJ4GMR, KJ4HNV.
Hey, very good. How are you doing, Ray?
I was just sitting here looking at the computer.
Very good. Your XYL. Oh gosh, her name escapes me. Don't tell me yet. Oh gosh, I've forgotten her first name.
Well, her name is Zoe, but everybody calls her Zoe. Zoe, Z-O-E.
Oh yeah. That's man, I should have remembered it. I'm sorry. Yep, I like that unique name, and I've seen it before, but not too often. And do I have that right? It's KJ4 Alpha November Victor. Is that correct?
KJ4H House Victor. KJ4HNV. I'm sorry. HNV.
I got it. Yeah, I wasn't reading my own writing. The A, your H looked like an A to me, but I'm sorry about that. Yeah, you sound good, Ray. You doing all right today?
A beautiful week. Beautiful weekend.
Well, it's a beautiful. Yeah, if you're out doing something that you like, if you're working, I'm not so sure well, it doesn't matter because if you're out in nice weather working, it's not so shabby.
No, great, man. We've been out cleaning and picking up. I'm getting ready to get a tower down and start back with another. So you may not hear me very much. I may not be as loud. So it gets you a good meter reading. And that way, mark it down because, like I say, it's going to be a day or two and it's going to, when I start back, it'll take a day or two to get it back up.
Well, the new system's going to be up higher, is it not?
Yeah, about 35 feet.
Yeah, you'll do great, I'm sure.
Yeah, it'll be, I think when it's all said and done, it'll be 120 foot.
Oh, wow, man, I'll let you do net control, Ray.
Believe it or not, I'm going to put a repeater antenna on the side of the tower before I put it up. Kilo November 4th, Quebec Oscar Charlie. Are y'all doing check-ins yet? Put a repeater.
Yeah, hold on one second. All right, Ray, very good. Looking forward to all of that. That's great. 100, man, you are going to be killer on that tower.
Oh yeah. Anyway, get back to the net. Glad y'all let me come down and join the party. KJ4GMR.
Yeah, we appreciate you being there. And that was Ray and his wife Zoe also checking in. That's Kilo Golf 4, Golf Mike Romeo, and Kilo Juliet for Hotel November Victor there in Cottontown. I heard it's another station, Quebec Oscar Charlie. Who was that station, please?
Kilo November 4, Quebec Oscar Charlie. I'm sitting in Nashville right now, but I'm from Elizabethtown. I'm riding around, getting ready to pick up somebody sometime soon.
Ah, very good. What's the first name?
Michael.
All right, Michael. Where you say you're normally in Elizabethtown?
Normally, but I'm about 2 miles from McNamara's Irish Pub. I'm not very familiar with this area, so that's the closest reference I have to where I'm at. KI4SIB monitoring.
Yeah, hold on, Richard. Yeah, very good, Michael. You sound good, and you're mobile. And well, how much power you run over there?
I'm running the full house on my FT8800, so 45, 50 watts, depending on what the SWR is.
Yeah, very good. You sound great. Well, you're welcome to come in anytime on any of our nets. We're here Wednesdays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. So, and there's lots of people monitoring, usually during the week at any other time.
That'd be great, y'all, but I doubt I can hear y'all from 120 miles away.
It might surprise you. I get up into, well, I don't know if I can do 120, maybe with my beam, but I get up easily up into what a Bowling Green pretty easy, but that's only about 65 miles.
Well, I'm about, if it's Bowling Green's exit 24, I am 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. It's about 75 miles north.
Yeah, maybe with the beam. You have to give me a try. Well, very good, Michael. Glad to have you in there from Kentucky. That's terrific. And that was Kilo November 4, Quebec Oscar Charlie, and he is mobile here in the Nashville area. Good to have you in there, Michael. I'm glad you could check in. Richard, you still ready to check in from north or east? KI4SIB. KI4SIB, heard you in there. Well, he must have taken a phone call or he's on a head call. One of the two. All right, who else? Where was I? North of Mount Juliet.
W4DGC.
All right, I've forgotten who that call is connected to. Please fill me in.
David here in Gallatin. First time checking in with out in the shack, 50 watts, Diamond 700. How's the audio sound?
Well, it sounds good. And you're full scale to me, which wouldn't be too tough with almost any antenna. I forget what you were last time now that you mentioned it. I forgot that was your call. But I know you had a good signal last time from Gallatin, and you were telling me about your antenna. I just don't remember what your, and I just know you had a good signal, that's all. And with that X700, and you're going to do great all over.
Yeah, I tried it, I think a couple weeks ago. I was actually cross-banding back out here to the shack, but I thought tonight I'd try it directly from the shack here with the Icon microphone.
Yeah, very good. And how high up is that X700 at your location?
Oh, there's 600 feet at the ground level here. It's probably another 30 feet up from there. 630.
Well, it's doing a good job here. Yeah, we should get some other reports from people down. Well, don't know yet. Well, you're going to be able to hear things from the south. Let's hear what you can hear from the south later on as we move along. How's that?
That'd be fine.
All right, I'll ask for you, or you just jump in there when I finish with south of 40. That'd be the best thing to do. Well, very good. That was David in Gallatin. That's Whiskey 4 Delta Golf Charlie. Yeah, I should have remembered that because I promised myself I would and I didn't. There you go. It's getting old, man. Gonna be 70 this year. Got this stuff. It's like that first in, first out, and I got stuff dropping off the back end of my brain. Very good, David. I'm glad you're in there, and congratulations on getting that monster antenna, the X700. I hope you didn't go into debt over that thing. Who else? North Mount Juliet, please come in.
Correction on the call there, Paul. Maybe you wrote it down wrong. It's Whiskey 4 Delta Tango Charlie.
Yes, I did write it down wrong because I probably heard it wrong myself. Delta Tango Charlie. Very good. Thanks for that correction. Delta Tango Charlie. Obviously, that's a vanity call with your initials, I take it.
That is correct.
Very good. I will try not to forget that next time you check in. And yeah, I'm anxious to hear how well you're doing with that antenna to some other of the callers. Very good. Appreciate it, David. That's David Whiskey for Delta Tango Charlie, and he's in Gallatin. Again, with a brand new X700 Diamond, which is the one I have. So we got matching or dueling antennas. I don't know which. Who else north? Please come in.
Kilo Uniform 4, X-Ray Quebec.
How you doing, Tim?
Good evening, Paul, and everybody on the net. Doing good, man. Had a great day, beautiful day out. Been sitting outside for the last 3 or so hours by the fire pit, just enjoying the evening. Over.
Well, you certainly don't need a fire in that pit tonight.
Yeah, I hear you, man. It's been nice. Actually, I've got a bunch of wood out by the shack that I'm getting nervous about snakes. So I thought I'd try to burn some of it off.
Yeah. You just put up a sign, no snakes.
Yeah, so yeah, you're right. But yeah, they ignore it though. They must be hams.
Hey, listen, it doesn't matter if they're black snakes. I wouldn't worry about it.
I hear you. Well, they keep mice away.
Oh man, they eat any mice, anything that's crawling, they'll eat. I got a small pond in my backyard, and I don't remember, it was last season in the spring, it was a huge crop of frogs. I don't remember how many were in there, but I looked out the kitchen window and here's I'll say about a 6-foot black snake going around just eating them all.
Yeah, that's crazy how that works. Last year I put up some bird feeders, and I've always had problems with wasps. And last year I hardly had any, so I went and loaded up on bird seed and all kinds of feeders and stuff, and put them out again this week. Hopefully keep them under control.
Oh, I never thought about that, but maybe that's the reason I don't have problems. I used to have problems with wasps, and now I've got 2 or 3 feeders out there. I've had them up for a couple of years, and I haven't even thought about the lack of wasps.
Oh yeah, for the last 20 years, they've drove me crazy. I've tried traps, all kinds of stuff, and yeah, they just started disappearing. So there you go. You see cool little birds and kill wasps.
Huh. I guess I never made that connection. That's interesting. All right, well, very good. That's Tim, Kilo Uniform. You have a good signal, by the way, Tim. It's great. Of course, you're just across the river, lake, whatever we're calling it these days. That's Kilo Uniform 4, X-Ray Quebec in Hendersonville. Sound great. Who else? North, please come down. Then we're moving over to the west of Mount Juliet. Please come down. Anywhere west of Mount Juliet Road, west of Wilson County, all the way to Memphis, if you can hear me. I heard 2 in there, but I got Jeff, Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf. How you doing?
Okay, I'm doing fine. WY4G, just kind of unwinding after work.
Yes, that's a good feeling, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, especially when you had a busy day.
Was today busier than most for you in the city?
Oh, no, I was doing my part-time job today, but it's busy, what I do. It's both of them, I stay pretty busy at it.
Yeah, I hear you. You're pegging the meter as always now, so I can't even give you a signal report that's worth a darn. You're going to have to wait for somebody way south to give you a signal report.
Yeah, I'll comment on that. Like the last Saturday, I can hear a few stations in the south, but everything pretty much, and a few on past you east, mostly north and west. I can pick up really good. I guess it's just my location. I don't know, but I'm still down the hole. But this antenna does make a difference.
Oh yeah, no, I can tell the difference. And yeah, things get a little tough going south past I-40 for a lot of people who are north like yourself. I did an elevation profile, for instance, from just west of Lebanon, which you're not even near there, but it's just west of Lebanon, down to Murfreesboro. And you'd think it's what kind of obstructions could there be? Well, guess what? It goes, just south of the 70, Tennessee 70 it's like somebody put up the Great Wall of China with ridges it starts out at about 530 feet, and there's ridges that go to 610 feet that are directly in the path of a signal going to Murfreesboro.
That makes sense. I never really investigated that, but it does make sense. The way Tennessee terrain is, it's just up and down. Unless you get out west towards Memphis, it kind of flattens out some.
Oh, yeah. Well, very good. It was good to have you in there, Jeff. And again, you sound great. It's Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf, and Jeff's in Madison. Who else we got north of Mount Juliet? Over to the west, and I think I already said that, but we're going to the west anyway. West of Mount Juliet, please come in. I didn't catch all of that. A little fuzzy. KN4. Oh, this must be Rick, huh?
Yeah, you got it. How you doing?
Yeah, finish me up with that call again. I got to get used to it.
Yeah.
It is Tango, Juliet, Foxtrot, right?
Yeah, you're correct.
Yeah, if you give me 3 letters in a row, it's good, but 4, it's bad. Yeah, you're doing great. And you still got that ground plane, that 5/8 wave?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think that in some cases your signal was much better last net, and it's not your signal so much. I've heard more noise on the band this afternoon when I was on. I didn't notice it this morning, but this afternoon, this evening, it's noisy. It's as if there's a static going on or something in the power lines, or I don't know what it is, but it's giving some problems to the west for me. I don't know if other people are hearing it or not.
Kilo November 4, Quebec Oscar Charlie.
Yeah, very good. Michael, you had something?
Yeah, I was going to say, we just had a solar flare, so that might be why you're getting a lot of noise. When I was up north in Kentucky, tried trying to operate HF last night. I couldn't hear anything.
Well, you may be right. That may be exactly the reason I'm hearing that, because really, what with the weather we're having, I wouldn't expect any problems, you know. Yeah, very good. Yeah, like I said, I'm sure it's not your fault, Rick, because last net you were doing much better than tonight. But I think it's due to the atmospheric conditions, and I think Michael just may hit the nail on the head that there was a big solar flare that may have been affecting that. Well, very good. We're glad to have you in there, Rick. It's good to see you. You're gonna have to now. We're gonna bug you about getting your general license, so be prepared for the bugging, but and also getting a better, getting the upgraded antenna as well. Good to have you in there, Rick. And that's Rick. He is over in Ashland City. That's what it is. I don't use that town name too often, but that's Ashland City, west of Nashville. Good to have you. And that's Kilo November for Tango Juliet Foxtrot. Who else? West, please come in.
KM4 YRF.
You just being polite, or did you get in late?
No, I was just hanging back.
Yeah, all right. So when are you well, that's right. You said Rick was saving up the money for that antenna, didn't you?
Yeah, but he's got a birthday coming up soon, so I imagine he'll get a little help.
Yeah, it's what the antenna fairy's going to show up.
Yes, sir.
There used to be a normal word we can use. We can't use it anymore.
Yes, I know. And I'm sorry I missed the breakfast today.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You don't have to give an excuse. You don't need a note from anybody. Just yeah, I'm sorry you missed it. We had a good crowd with like 14. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I heard. I was impressed.
Yeah, it didn't. We're like some of those politicians. We pay people to show up.
Well, Rick and I will both be there on the next one.
Ah, very good. Be good to have them there again, but this time as a licensed operator. You got to keep bugging them about that general ticket.
Oh yeah, I am, and I think Mary and Marty are going to try to come as well.
Oh, that'd be great. It'd be great to have them. All right, very good. Good to hear you have in there. Good to have you in there, Michael. That's Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. He's in Belshire. Who else west of Mount Juliet?
Whiskey 4, Alpha Whiskey Echo.
We're going to get you over to breakfast one of these days, John.
You will indeed. Oh, by the way, Rick in Ashland City, I've got a good S8 copy on you tonight. I remember hearing you about an S8 before, and there is a little static in there, but you're getting through just great. Just wanted to let him know.
Oh, yeah. No, he's making quite a trip over here to me, that's for certain. Yeah, did you hear it? Did you? His signal was much better last net. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I mean, of course, FM is constant, almost like it's a AM carrier, but his audio was down and staticky. I don't know if that's just conditions or if he's got a way to turn his deviation or audio up. It might help him a bit because his signal's really strong.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just guessing that it might be something to do with the conditions, and like that one fellow said, it was, a solar flare, because his signal, like I said, it was much better before.
Yeah, I mean, there is a possibility. Although I think that is a big solar flare that zapped us, but I think it's the higher frequencies that are more affected, but it certainly could affect 2 meters as well. Over.
Yeah, I'm with you. No, I was noticing it on some other guys earlier in the afternoon, but it could just be me. Could be local conditions. I don't really know. Well, good to have you in there, John. That's Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo. We're going to have a mandatory meeting. That's what we'll have to have and get everybody show up at one time.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Or maybe, I'm not sure what else would be an attraction, but no, it'd be nice to get more people, everybody in there that I haven't met yet. Anyway. All right, John, appreciate you being there. Great signal out of Bellevue, Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo. All righty, who else? Where was I? West of Mount Juliet.
Paul, Richard was in there too.
I heard him in there earlier, but he didn't come back to me.
Yeah, he was there just a second ago.
Richard, you there or not? KI4SIB? This is K4PEW.
Richard, you're being called by Paul.
Nothing hurt. He can jump in there. I don't know what he's doing. I heard him fine earlier. I don't know what's going on with his new antenna over there. I don't know. Maybe that's what he's trying to figure out because I can hear him just fine. All righty. Anybody else west? Please come now. All righty. Then we're going to the south of I-40. Please come now.
K4IDC mobile.
All righty, Robin. How you doing? We missed you last at the breakfast, and we missed you at last net.
Oh, thank you. I've been kind of busy. Coming back from your favorite pizza place in Smyrna.
So you actually go back to there now, huh?
Yeah. I don't have any cousins up there.
Well, I don't know. See, once you go, you have to keep going back, or they come and get you.
But I found out this evening there's another one in Hermitage. It's much closer to you. About 2 miles closer for me.
You mean like Sal's over there on, gosh, where is that? Just south of 40.
Dodson Chapel.
Okay, I don't know that one. I'm not sure that's the one I know of. Because that's not the same group, is it?
Yeah, if you go to the webpage, it's Salvo's Pizza, right?
I don't know if it's Salvo's or Sal's.
Well, the one I'm coming from is Salvo's, and they have one in Hermitage as well. So that one is only about 6 or 7 miles from you.
Oh, well, I'll have to check that out. Then, unless, well, maybe I have to check it out. I don't know.
Maybe they'll come get you if you don't.
I don't know. They know I've been fleeing justice all these years from that Western New York area.
Or the mob.
Yeah, that's right. I'm on the. It's not the Witness Protection Program. It's the Witless Protection Program.
I need all the help I can get.
Yeah, very good. Robin, good to have you in there. Mobile, where are you now?
I just turned on to Granny Wright.
Granny Wright Road, Mobile. All right, very good, Robin. Good to have you there. Kilo 4, India Delta Charlie. And yeah, see, if you don't show up, I don't think Bruce shows up. So you got to show up.
Yeah, well, I kind of have to encourage him on the front end.
That's what I mean. In fact, when he showed up last time, I don't remember if it was this earlier this month, but I said, "Hey, Bruce, good to see you." And he goes, "Hey, Robin said he was going to be here, and he's not here now, and he got me to come." So it was like it was mandatory that you show up later.
Yeah, that was not yesterday, but the first Saturday of the month or second Saturday of the month, whatever the earlier date in the month is.
Yeah, it was. I believe you're right. All right, very good, Robin. That's Kilo 4 India Delta Charlie, and he's Mobile. And who else west of Mount Juliet? Or south, excuse me, south of 40, please come in.
84 ZGY.
All right, I think KD4 ZGY. There was a double in there, though. But how you doing, Ed?
Good afternoon. I sort of came in here early to check in, and I said I kind of want to watch that ball game, March Madness. I've been listening to you on the FM radio station. What I do is I got this little packet. I'll plug in the external speaker of my radio, and it transmits anywhere in the house. So I'll take a little transistor radio and pick you up wherever I want to. Then when I know it's time to come, I came in here and checked in. My name is Ed. I'm KD4ZGY.
Yeah, very good, Ed. You got a modified crossband repeat.
Yes, sir. It received anyway. But it works real well. I've done it several times on net and stuff where I wanted to check in and didn't want to sit by the radio, want something else to do. But I wanted to come in and say hello. That's the main thing. I'm thinking about you. I'll turn it back to you. I'm going back to March Madness. KD4ZGY.
Yeah, very good. That's Ed, Kilo Delta 4 Zulu Golf Yankee. He's down in Shake Rag near Shelbyville. Good to have you in there, Ed. You had a great signal tonight. There was just breaking S9 to me on your, I presume you're using the beam. But who else saw the 40?
KT410.
KT410. That sounds like Randy.
Hello. Good to hear you. Sounding good tonight.
Yeah, very good. You sound good too.
Thank you much. Good net.
Well, I thank you. The guys make the net. I just talk. I'm just the one guy at this end. But anyway, yeah, you sound good, Randy. And you're in Murfreesboro, correct? I want to make sure I remember that.
Franklin.
Oh, that's right. It is Franklin. I'm sorry. I don't want to. That's like an insult, isn't it? If you're living in Franklin, I tell you you're from Murfreesboro.
No, just living is okay with me.
Well, Franklin is Franklin is the one. Well, they're both growing communities, and it's just Franklin seems to have higher price tags on the real estate.
Oh yeah. Well, that's Williamson County.
Yeah, exactly. We're having the same issues here in Wilson County, but they're not quite as steep, I don't think, as Williamson County.
Probably not.
No, it's a crazy world, and all those people from Amazon are going to buy a house down there too.
That's all right. I'm gonna live south there in the country.
Well, that's probably the best place to be. All right, very good, Randy. And Randy's in Franklin. That's Kilo Tango 4 Tango November. Good to have you in there, Randy. Randy, who else out of the 40?
KN4AJL.
Very good, Bob. You were in there earlier tonight. You're doing all right tonight, are you?
Oh yeah, doing pretty good, Paul. Just enjoying the net. Kick back here, and by the way, I heard a good copy off David up in Gallatin with his X700 antenna. No problem whatsoever. Loud and clear in last cab.
Yeah, David, you copied that, didn't you? That down in Las Casas, you got a fantastic copy on you.
Yes, I did. Thank you very much. I think that's the first time I've heard him.
Ah, very good. Yeah, it's fun to be able to know you can listen to and or talk to people that you've never listened to before. It's kind of a neat. It's kind of what we get into ham radio for, and we end up at the front end. And when we first get our license, so we generally use repeaters, and then we find out that we don't necessarily need repeaters. Sometimes we do, though. Well,
Yeah, I copied that, Paul. Well, hey, I don't want to hold you up. I know you probably got a little bit longer to go, and probably going to jump over here on the upper side band in a minute. See if I can get in there with you. But anyway, 7-3 to everybody out there. Have a great evening. KN4AJL.
yeah, very good, Bob. Good to have you in there. It's Bob in Las Casas. That's Kilo November 4 Alpha Juliet Lima. Somebody else in there saw the 40?
Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor.
Hey, Larry, you're just hanging back, waiting for everybody else, huh?
Yeah, I noticed Bob's audio was awful weak.
Yeah, I talked to Bob about that earlier tonight. That he seemed lower, and I didn't know if it was just me or conditions, or he said he might be having a problem with something there, but I'll let him figure that out. But I can't go without telling somebody if it sounds bad,
It didn't sound bad, just sound real weak, and I also heard the Gallatin station.
Ah, very good. Gallup, that was, David, DTC, we had, that's over there in Rockville. That's Larry. He's got a good signal on you down there in Rockville. All righty. No, I didn't mean to say. When I say bad, it doesn't mean bad. It was a low audio, and he was pretty sure there was a problem on his end. All right, very good, Larry. Good to have you in there. It was Larry Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor in Rockville. Anybody else south? Please come in.
KE4 TYJ Jim near Woodbury.
Hey, Jim. You're still hearing it and a little bit of a noise there coming from the west?
No. Everybody sounded really good. Bob his audio was a little bit low, but David up in Gallatin's making a good trip down here to Woodbury down here in Cannon County. So yeah, everything's doing good.
Yeah. How many hams did we say there were in Cannon County?
53.
See, they're 153rd of the whole county. It's checking in tonight. Maybe we'll take them all as checking.
There's a bigger percentage of hams here in Cannon County than just about anywhere. I know it's bigger than the national average, and it's more than Rutherford and more than Davidson.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is like we pointed out, it is interesting that the more rural the county in this area, the more hams per capita there is. Just fast. There's less hams per capita in Nashville than there is in either Williamson or, in their case, Cannon. Cannon's got the highest, and Wilson's up there too, but not quite as high per capita as the others. So it is fascinating, though, that it works out that way. Might be just the demographics. Nobody in the city even knows about ham radio. Well, that's not true. All right, Jim, you sound good. Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet, and Jim's in Woodbury with a great signal. We'll catch him later on the sideband. Who else? South, please come in.
Low power. How bad is this signal? KI-4ND.
Well, it's pretty rough. I didn't see it moving the meter. Give me one more time on your call there, David.
Okay, it is, that's 5 watts, of course, on this little input, and probably not swinging that needle at all, but how is the audio?
Well, I got a good copy on the audio. It's got a lot of frying bacon in there, but you're not even bumping the meter on the signal.
Okay, I probably, bacon's probably cooking there at the time for snags. That's medium power. How come?
Yeah, that bumped it up to about an S1.5 or 2 or so in that area. I'm reading the meter backwards, so I ought to have big letters put in there with magic marker or something. But yeah, that does better, and the audio is louder. But I was able to copy it well on the low power, which was 5 watts, did you say?
Yes, sir, it was, and now I pushed it on up there. That's all I got. What is it? Only 5, 20, and 50 maybe.
Yeah, that's like an S5 to me, which real good audio though. Really, it's just fine. Just like I said, there's a lot of that static in there that has nothing to do with you.
Okay, well, I did hear that station, David, first time around, heard him pretty good, and the second time or third time, kind of lost him there.
Yeah, very good, David. David in Reedyville, Kilo India 4, November Delta November. He was copying you pretty good down there in Reedyville, which was quite a stretch from where you are up there in Gallatin. So you're doing good. I presume David's still there, DTC?
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, no, I acknowledge. I was just looking up on the map. Rockville was 50 miles, and I have to look up Reedyville. But that's good news. Thanks for the feedback. I really appreciate it. W4 DTC.
Yeah, it tends to make it all worthwhile, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was going to tell you that it's not any better than the 510 I took down, but I think it might be just a little bit.
Well, yeah, and you're right. It would be hard to discern the difference because I've heard that before. Because the 510 has a great receive and a great transmit. I mean, it's no slouch. And for most people, that 510, you don't need to spend any more money than that. You know, I mean, unless you just want to go crazy like I did and a couple others than you did. You know.
Hi, Dave. Hello. I did hear you that time. Sure did. Good evening, sir.
Who was saying Dave? Was that Dave? Was that David?
Yeah, this is way up your cunt down hollering at Dave. I want to catch him before he got away from me. Hi, Dave. See y'all. PG board, Jim.
All right, very good, Ray. Good to hear you in there. Yeah, you got a big signal as always. So I wasn't sure who it was. All right, David. That was David. He's in Reedyville, Kilo India 4, November Delta November. He also does he participates and is a primary net control for the Rutherford County Simplex Aries net that's on the first Tuesday of the month, and I always send out reminders about that for those that wish to participate because they take the participation from anywhere, not just down in his area. All right, who else we got south of 40?
K4, OFO.
November Yankee, Bill.
Hey, hold on, Bill. Got OFO in front of you. Kilo November. There we go. Okay, Donnie, we missed you this morning.
Yeah, I thought about it about 9 o'clock. I said, well, it's probably a little bit too late. Sound like they had a good turnout. I've missed both of them this month, but I'll do better next month. But appreciate you doing the net. Sounds good. Heard everybody so far tonight, and everybody's real strong. So I'll turn it back over to net. Don't have anything further, Paul.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, as you know, there's no rules. You don't have to show up on the nets all the time. You don't have to show up at breakfast all the time. It's there's no, you know us. There's no rules. We just miss having you. That's all. All right, next one I had was Bill in Murphy. Oh, by the way, that was Donnie. He is in Hermitage, about 6 miles south of me, east of 141 or 171, which is Mount Juliet Road. And the next one I believe was Bill, Kilo November 4, November Yankee.
Well, how are you tonight, Paul?
I am doing fantastic. I was out on my bicycle this afternoon, Of course, it's all work when I do it, but it was nice to be out in the sun and the breeze, and all I had to wear was a T-shirt, so it felt good.
That's nice. I did get a little bit of yard work done, but everybody seems to be coming in very good tonight. David over there, even though he changed his power, didn't make any difference to me here.
Oh, I don't imagine it. Well, yeah, I don't imagine it did too much from your location, but to me, I forget. He's about 35 miles south of me, and you're only, I forget, 21, 20. I don't recall.
I don't know. Whatever it is, it's a long walk.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to walk it. I have ridden my bicycle that far, but I don't want to do that to Murfreesboro. I'm not on the road systems we got here.
I better let you go on 73s to everybody. KM4NNY will be clear.
Yeah, very good, Bill. That was Bill, Kilo November 4, November Yankee, and he's in Murfreesboro. Who else south of 40?
KN4CCQ.
Hey, Preston, you sound good.
Same to you there, Paul. Everything going well for you?
Yeah, better than average, I think. I'm always doing well. Attitude is half the battle in getting along during the day.
Yeah, copy that. 73's T-shirt sounding good as always. KN4CCQ.
Yeah, very good. You're about 10 or 15 over tonight, Preston. That was Kilo November 4, Charlie, Quebec. Great signal, good audio from Rockville. No, from Possum Trot. Over there south of the way south, so farther east, or excuse me, farther west, Possum Trot. Preston, Kilo November 4, Charlie, Quebec. Who else south? Please come in. Nothing heard. Late check-ins, any place, north, south, east, or west.
KB9RK.
Hey, Frank, it was good to see you this morning.
Oh, same here. Good to see everybody. I'm actually on the HT downstairs. A couple of comments. I usually don't hear Dave, but if you guys are telling, he's giving me 4 bars on an HT. I heard Richard when he was looking for you, and then you tried to get back. And Mike and Beltran.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Richard. I heard him just fine. By the way, you're doing with the HT, you're doing about S8 or so into here.
Yeah, I'm downstairs. If I was upstairs, I was a bit higher. But interesting what you're saying about the Murfreesboro. I'm gonna have to take a look at that because I do have a hard time. I have a better chance of hearing. Well, Reed's at least coming in great, but Murfreesboro, I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, well, the issue is, I don't know if it's the same for you, but I know where Richard's going south, and that's who I was looking at on the elevation profile, was Richard, who was just north of 70, just west of of Lebanon, and there's a horrible series of bumps directly due south of him, within a mile or so, and it really does give him fits going south. You may have the same issue, I don't know, but yeah, no, I said it seemed to be bumping around, but you were moving anywhere from about S2 to about S6, I think, when you're on the H2. So yeah, it's pretty good that you can work me with an HT though.
Yeah, I was walking around the house.
Yeah, very good. That was Frank on his HT, Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo, Kilo. Anybody else late check-in, please come in.
KN4LXH.
Hey, how you doing, Jimmy?
I'm doing okay.
Oh, I gotta be better doing okay on such a fine day as today.
Yeah, well, there's been some major changes on my tower thing.
Well, I hope they're not bad changes.
Well, I've decided to temporarily, at least, not put the tower up. And what I'm going to do, I've got a 40-foot Channel Master push-up mast, and I'm going to use that instead. I realized when I got those first 8 bags of concrete that pouring 24 or 25 bags of concrete to fill that hole was not in my wheelhouse anymore. So I had to give up on that and just put up a push-up mast, which I buried in the ground 3 feet. So that's a big change, but I'm still going to be at the same height.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I'm sorry you can't put that tower up, because I think you were counting on putting an HF antenna up there as well, weren't you?
Well, I've got a full-size 20-meter 4-element beam. I'm going to stick on top of this mast. Now, the mast is guide, so it seems to me that should be okay.
I would have guessed so. I don't know the size of the mast, but yeah, that sounds great.
I think it's like an 1.25 inch mast. It's a little bit, probably needs to be bigger, but you use what you got. So, but I realized that mixing up 24, 25, 80-pound bags of concrete that's not in my wheelhouse anymore.
I got you. Well, Dennis up in Castellian Springs just did the same thing, except he put it all in in one of those rental mixers, on a trailer, but on a hitch, and mixed it up. You still had to open the bags and put them in the mixer and do the mixing and the dumping, but that's how he got it done. I think he said he used 30 something.
Yeah, he probably had a little bit deeper hole than I had, but any rate, I'm going to give this a try. I've also ordered a Titan DX HF antenna from Gap Antennas to see how that's going to work. But any rate, that's the deal now.
Yeah, well, you've got a great signal now. You're not going to improve any on on the FM side for sure.
Yeah, that little antenna I have, I think it says 5 or 6 dB gain. That's about as much, I guess, as I need. It just needs to go a little bit higher. So if I put it on top of that 40-foot mast, it should be about 15 feet higher than it is now.
Oh, that'll be great. Well, then you'll be able to hear a little more. You're not, like I said, it won't make any change to me or you, on our signals.
Yeah, no, probably not. But at any rate, I've been abusing my back pretty good anyway. So.
Yeah, very good. Appreciate you being there, Jimmy. And yeah, I'm sorry you didn't get that tower up, but you've got a reasonable plan for getting up the antennas anywhere. And that's Kilo November 4 Lima X-Ray Hotel, just up north of the high school here in Mount Juliet, near Lebanon Road. Great signal again. Really, really good to me. Who else late check-ins?
NHTTY.
All right, hold on one second, Rusty. Was there who else was that in there?
Whiskey Delta 4 Bravo Whiskey Charlie.
Yeah, hold on, Jeff. I just wasn't sure. Had you heard Richard earlier?
Yeah, it was fine, solid.
Yeah, I know, but he didn't come back to me when I called him. Weird. Anyway, hold on. Let me take Rusty first. Rusty, how you doing? It's good to see you this morning at the breakfast. You're a newbie to the breakfast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Enjoyed it. Anytime food's involved, it makes it better.
Yeah, that's right. Food and coffee. Don't even have to have food. Just coffee is sufficient.
Oh, yeah. Back in the old days, a cup of coffee and a cigarette, breakfast to champions.
Yeah, well, I quit that smoking thing 30 years ago, so I don't think about that anymore.
Yeah, it was 22 for me, so I'm way past that now. But yeah, I enjoyed getting to be there, getting to meet Richard and everything. You say I was down having supper with the family and I got the first part. You were checking in the east, and so I ran down and ate right quick and came back, and we're saying Richard didn't make it in.
Well, he did, but I came back to him and he didn't respond. So I don't know if he's got an antenna issue, a radio issue, a narcolepsy issue. I don't know what's going on.
He is going to be really perturbed about that, I'm sure.
I know he's going to be perturbed because I heard him fine, and then he didn't apparently hear me, or if he did, he couldn't get back to me. So I don't know what the deal was. All right, very good, Rusty. Good to have you in there. Good to see you at the breakfast. Look forward to some more breakfast and coffee. You can meet some more people. That was a little lower than normal. We usually, the other breakfast on the second Saturday of the month, we've had as many as I think 20. It's around 20 or maybe 22, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. Meeting a lot of new people and a lot of good people.
Yes, sir. Good deal, and I really enjoy it. But I'll send it on back to you and see you on the sideband here in a little bit. NAPPY back to net.
Yeah, very good. That was Rusky, November 8th, Papa Yankee in Murfreesboro. Next up was Jeff. How you doing, Jeff? Yeah, I don't know what happened to Richard. I have no idea.
Yeah, he was coming in solid earlier.
I know. It was weird. Something must have happened. You know what it was? You might have to go pay his electric bill.
Maybe. Yeah, doing good. I didn't hit the breakfast, but my wife said you should have went to the breakfast. I should have.
Yeah, it's pretty bad when your wife is telling you you should have gone to the breakfast. My wife does the opposite. How long are you going to spend at the breakfast?
Yeah, she also said that I think you're getting a few new neighbors.
I'm getting a few new neighbors.
Yeah, just a few.
Well, there's a few new neighbors moving in around our area, that's for sure, and everywhere around here.
Yeah, I think it's to the west. They're doing they're scratching the ground.
Yeah, I don't remember which development that is, but you're right. There's been several things going on just west of us, and it's just going to increase the traffic on Central Pike and over towards our side here through that old Pleasant Grove Drive. I think is we've even seen increased traffic on that quite a bit.
Yeah, well, I had to contribute to that. I passed your house today.
Okay, very good. All right, Jeff. That's Jeff. Whiskey Delta 4 Bravo Whiskey Charlie in Lebanon. Good signal. Good to have you in there, Jeff. We'll maybe see you at the next breakfast. Who else? Late check-ins? Anybody else before we move on? We're going to check in now. Lurkers, lollygaggers, sandbaggers, SDR donglers. Who else am I missing? Oh, yeah, the preppers and the end-time survivalists. That's what we're looking for. All right, I didn't hear from any of those people, or at least own up to it. Oh, yeah, the scanner listeners, did I mention those? They got to email me at the Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey at ARL.net. Haven't had any of those ever, but I always ask. I don't want to leave out anybody who's interested in radio. All right, well, we're going to close on that. We had a decent turnout tonight with 27. That's a lot. I don't care who you are. That's a lot of check-ins on any net, particularly without repeaters. So we've got a lot of active, well-tuned hams with antennas, and I hear the improvements from people almost every week. With David up there in Gallatin with his new X700, and Richard, or something happened to him because he's got a new X510 by Diamond over there, and he was doing a great job for the last week or so, but I don't know what happened. He's probably over there steaming right now. But like I said, it's always good to see people improving their stations, and they can hear everybody else, and that gives them some. By the way, did you hear any more stations, David? That's what I wanted to ask. Did you hear any more that you hadn't heard before?
Yeah, there's a couple that I mentioned there, the Reedyville and Rockville. I don't think I've heard them before, and it was good to know that they could hear me. I think that's 45, 50 miles or something from me. W4 DTC.
Yeah, that's awesome when you have a footprint that goes that far. I know the feeling, and all of a sudden you feel like now you're really kind of in the midst of being able to talk to a lot of people. And of course, from where you are, it even pushes it farther up into Kentucky,
K4PWKI4SIB. Hey, Paul, I'm going to be very brief, and I hope you're hearing me. I've got my noise problem back, and it's tearing everything up, and I'm not able to hear even you good at all. So y'all carry on, check me in the net if you will, and I'll talk to you when I can. KI4SIB.
Yeah, very good, Richard. Wonder what happened to you. Glad you're in there. I got you logged in. K4PW.
I can't make out what you're saying, Paul. I can just tell you're talking to me. I've got 7 pounds of noise, and you're right in the middle of it.
Wow. All righty. Let's hope we get that resolved somehow. All right. That was Richard with a terrible noise problem over just west of Lebanon. So I don't know what's going on there. All righty. Where was I? Oh, yeah, just David. Yeah, it's it's gratifying to have be heard, and hear stations that you're not used to hearing. So it increases your enjoyment of the hobby. All righty. Just one last chance for late check-ins, any place, anywhere, anyhow. Please come
in. K4QPR, fashionably late.
K4QPR. Hi, didn't I talk to you earlier tonight, didn't I? No?
I don't think so. I've been doing stuff.
All right. You sound good, though.
Can you tell it's a different radio?
I think if that's the new one that you're using, I'm not sure if I could tell, because you were doing fine the last I talked to you on the, I'm trying to remember which radio that was. There was the Kenwood, wasn't it? The TMV 71A?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's, like I said, that's a great radio. Have you learned to use that crossband repeat?
No, but I can monitor both sides.
Oh yeah, no, that's another nice feature of it. You can monitor 70 centimeters or whatever you want to monitor, because as you know, it'll do some of the other commercial frequencies that you can't transmit on, but it can copy all the weather service and the MERS and what else? Trying to think. Oh yeah, all of the GMRS and FRS and you name it, it can monitor.
Do I have interest in some of the others? It'd be fun to listen if it's worth listening to.
Well, I guess the answer is yes and no. What I have done sometimes is I have a whole bunch of those frequencies on one, built into the memory. And let's say I'll be monitoring this frequency on one side, and I will actually just start scanning on the other side. And if I catch something of interest on the sheriff or the Mount Juliet police, I'll stop it there. And also there's sometimes activity on GMRS, and there's not as much activity in those other, I'll just call them not very much used frequencies, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, very good. Good to have you in there. That was Russ. He is in Laverne. That's where he is, and he's got a new radio, and I'm pretty sure he's pretty happy about it, because that's a nice radio. Same one I have, the Kenwood TMV71A, and with a crossband repeat. It's got the dual display, which is a lot of radios have, but it's just really a nice radio. All right. Is there any other late check-ins? Oh, that was Kilo. I'm sorry, that's Kilo for Quebec Papa Romeo, and he's in Laverne. I don't know if I said that. Anybody else? So we can hit number 30 if you're out there. Nope, no volunteers. All righty. It's one thing you learn in the military. Don't volunteer for anything. All righty. We appreciate it. Now we're going to jump over to the buy, sell, swap, and swindle net. Anybody anything they want to sell or buy, please come in. Well, we can skip that portion on that. One last chance. Buy, sell, swap, trade, swindle, steal, borrow, lease. Please come in.
WB0NOL.
Hey, Mark, what you got?
I'm not selling, but I'm kind of looking for an antenna tuner, something that'll handle high power.
High power. How high?
Oh, I don't know, 1,500, 2,000 watts.
Okay, so you're looking for legal limit or better on an antenna tuner, right?
Yep, that's what I need, I think.
All right, very good. We do have one person looking for, if you don't have it, if you know somebody who does, and that's a legal limit or better antenna tuner, which obviously would be an HF, and that might be upwards of a couple thousand watts if you got one. So that's the whiskey. And if you're interested in, if you know somebody who's got it, it's Whiskey Bravo 0 November Oscar. Excuse me. I don't hear any takers, but keep that in mind. Make a note of that. And if you find somebody who has a tuner in your travels, let us know. Anybody else?
W4AWE.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
I'm having to clear out some stuff because I have a new rule here. I can't have anything new until I get rid of something. So Yaesu FT991, that's new except for being powered about an hour on the bench to test it and update the firmware.
Ah, very good. That's the one that was $800. Do I remember that correctly?
That is correct. It's HF 100 watts and then VHF, UHF 50 watts.
Yeah, nice radio. John, Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo has for sale on FT991. $800. It's good buy considering it's been about an hour of operation on it. It's nearly new, just barely used, and it's normally sells for I think 1,100 and something or 1,200 in that range. So it's quite a bargain. If anybody's interested, and it has 100 watts on HF and 50 watts on UHF, VHF.
Is that the one that's digital?
I don't think that's. Oh, wait a minute. That one's not digital, is it, John?
It does all modes. It does SSB, AM, FM, as well as Yaesu System Fusion does not do D-Star, but all modes, all bands.
Yeah, that's right. You're right, Ray. I forgot. That's the Yaesu. It has the Yaesu Fusion portion on the 2 meter 77.
Yeah, but I mean, that's part of the digital in that 2 meter 440.
Yes, but it also does the analog as well, but it's analog and Yaesu Fusion on the 2 meter.
Yeah. Okay. I know somebody up here that may be looking for one. If you'll give me a number, I'll pass it on to him.
Yeah, how about an email? Is that good?
You got if you've got my phone number, hadn't you?
I don't think I do. Well, do this. If you give your phone number, John can copy it. John, you're copying Ray up in Cotton Town, aren't you?
He's a little weak. All he's got to do is just look me up on QRZ and email me there. And by the way, it's System Fusion on everything, including HF.
Oh my gosh! All right, very good. You hear that, Ray? Just go ahead and email him the phone number or whatever you want to do. And he's on QRZ, that Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo.
Ain't no good at that. I'm old school. Let me give you my number, and either let him call it or text me, the whole, the gist on it and his phone number.
All right, very good. Give it to me, Ray.
Yeah, 615-438-2005.
Very good. I'll pass it along. I think John probably got that, but we'll go from there. Appreciate it, Ray.
All right, let me see if he's on the radio now. I appreciate it, TJ4 Jim.
Yeah, that was Ray, and his phone number there, John, is 615, of course, 438-2005.
W4AWE, I've got it.
Very good. Let's make it happen. All right. Very good. Anything else? Anybody, any place, anywhere on the buy, sell, swap, or swim before we jump over to the sideband? All righty. I'm moving over to 144.240 on upper sideband. I'll be there momentarily as soon as I hit the switch, and we'll switch frequencies and we'll be all set, or switch modes, I should say. It was a great net. We had 29 folks show up, and which is that's even with some people missing that are normally there. But we're always doing great. It's only everybody who shows up is important, as far as I'm concerned. It just shows a nice growing interest in in Simplex. All right, very good. K4PEW closing this portion of the net, moving over to 144.240. All righty, K4PEW at the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net on 144.240 upper sideband. Taking check-ins from, well, let's just start over on the east of Mount Juliet. Please come.
KE4TWI.
All right, Wes, I got you in there. Who else east of Mount Juliet?
KG4MIC.
Oh, you're just too good to check in on 2 meter Simplex?
I was watching basketball.
You don't have to give excuses, man. You know me. All right, Kevin, I got you in there. Who else we got? East of Mount Juliet. All right, up north of Mount Juliet. Please come in. All right, got you in there, Mark, W0NOO. Who else north of Mount Juliet? West of Mount Juliet, please come in.
W4AWA.
All righty, John, I got you in there. Who else west? Please come in. Well, I heard something in. Anybody else west? I got KT4TN. I got you in there. A little weak, but you're in there. How much power are you running down there? I got you in there, Randy. Kilo Tango 4 Tango November. Well, I may not have a good copy of it, but I did check them in. Who else we got? West or south, wherever I was, west or south. Please come in.
Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet.
Yep, I got you in there, Jim, in Woodbury. Anybody else?
KN4 CCQ.
KN4 CCQ, I got you in there, Preston. Sounds good. We had a good crew in there this evening. And Rockville, or excuse me, Preston in Possum. I keep wanting to say Rockville. Possum Town, or Possum Trot. Dang. All right, anybody else? All righty, we got Rusty in there with his trusty 5 watts. Anybody else, wherever I was, north, south, east, or west?
W4 DTC.
Hey, how you doing? That was David, correct?
Yes, correct. David, W4 DTC here in Gallatin.
I got you. Appreciate you being there. Good signal. Anyone else? Any place, anywhere, please come in. All righty. Well, we got a pretty good crew in there. We got me, Kilo 4 Papa, Echo Whiskey and Martin Juliet, Wes, near Watertown, Kilo Echo 4 Tango Whiskey India. Kevin, of course, in Lebanon, Kilo Golf 4 Mike India Zulu. Mark, Whiskey Bravo 0, November Oscar in Hermitage. And John, Whiskey 4 Alpha, Whiskey Echo in Bellevue. And then Randy, Kilo Tango 4 Tango November, and he is in Franklin. Jim in Woodbury, Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet. Preston, Kilo November 4 Charlie Quebec. And Rusty, November 8 Papa Yankee, and he is in Murfreesboro. And David, Whiskey 4 Delta Tango Charlie in Gallatin. And that is, I don't know how many. Hold on. That's 10 people on it. That's a good crowd for us on that's more than we used to get 3 years ago here on the FM net. So you guys are doing great. And if you'll hang around there, I've got things I must do very shortly where the dogs eat my feet. And so I'm going to jump out of here. I appreciate everyone who checked into the net. I'll be on FM a little later. And appreciate everybody who's on the sideband portion. K4PEW. You can talk among yourselves.
Hey, Jim, you're still there? K4PEW. Yeah, I'm here, West.
Oh, hold on. I heard Bob in there. AJL.
Stay right here for a second, if you don't mind. Let me switch to my omnidirectional vertical. Okay, I'll be standing by.
I heard you in there, Bob. AJL.
Yeah, let's make it 11, Paul. KM4 AJL.
Yeah, very good. You sound good.
Copy that. Go do what you got to do, and I'll hang around here for a few minutes and maybe catch a few of the others.
Yeah, very good. Like I said, go ahead and talk among yourselves and go vertical or horizontal or both. We'll catch you in a little bit. K4PEW.
KE4TWI, Jim, that's omnidirectional. Yeah, your signal comes up about 3S units on me when you go to the omnidirectional vertical. Of course, it's not rejected on my side like your beam is. Right. Yeah, you're about the same thing. You're speaking about S3. I ain't bad. You gotta go into work later. You off? I'm done for the weekend. Of course, I'm only running 10 watts too, Wes. Oh, you're just teasing us. I gotta keep some in reserve. Well, how was what were you telling me? How was that convention you went to or the dinner? Oh, my awards banquet. Yeah, it was all right. I mean, we've had better food in the past, and we've had more excitement in the past, but it was all right. You know, we had a fairly decent time, and there's a supervisor, and I won't name names or anything that were left in charge, and I just particularly don't care for them. But that's why it was a little bit lamer than usual. Well, we'll leave that. And next time I see you in person, I'll tell you all about it. Yeah, well, I'm glad it went over all right. Your black tie affair. Well, it's the garbage man ball. It's oh yeah, I heard you showed up at breakfast this morning. Oh yeah, I was there. Had a good time. Had a good day. Got a little nap today. Yeah, I got a little nap too. We took the motorcycle out and enjoyed the day a little bit. We I won't say went antiquing, but we stopped at a few of them secondhand stores down here in Woodbury, and even went to the flea market and did a little bit of walking around. But it was a pretty decent day. Well, all right, I got a few a little bit of target shooting in today, and did a little 44 mag and reloaded again with the garage door open and the cool air coming in. Ah, very good. How do you like the audio on this rig today? It sounds good to me. Yeah, I went ahead and I broke down and ordered another SM-30 icon for it. So I got two of these microphones now, one for the 7300 and one for the 746 Pro. I like them. It's a good. I heard myself on the live feed tonight too. So yeah, I'm happy with the audio. I think it sounds pretty good. What is that? A desk mic? Yeah, it is. Oh, you're getting fancy. No, if I got a boom mic like Paul, that'd be fancy. Yeah, you get a boom mic that's suspended from an arm off the wall or ceiling, and that's just going too far. Well, like the wife said that when I ordered this, she said, well, Monty, a boom mic. I said, I don't want a boom mic. I would have bought one if I wanted one. Well, Paul has a boom mic. I said, I'm not like Paul. But don't you want to be like Paul? No, I don't want to be like Paul. I want to be like Jim. I want a desk mic. I like desk mics. I don't. But if I was to get a boom mic, I said, but I just don't want one. You're not going to fall into peer pressure, I see. No, I refuse. Yeah, I got to do my own thing, man. I've seen the reviews on the other reviews on the Icon 9700. Kind of want one that's really bad.
K4P did.
No, I'm getting these. I'm not an Icon person. I've only got one Icon HT. There's a new Icon coming out to 100 watts on 2 meters, and I think 50 on 432. I kind of want. That's the 9700 that I hear you, Paul. It's 100 watts on 2 meters, 75 on 440, and 25 on 1.23. I'll tell you what, you go ahead and give me one, and I'll pay you back weekly every time I see you at the breakfast. How about that? No, you make enough money. You can afford one. They're only $2,000. Go ahead, Paul, K4PW.
Well, as you guys were talking, I was fixing the dogs' dinner, the 5 dogs. If I remembered as I was fixing dinner, I'm hearing you guys talk. I still haven't turned off the live feed, so all of that was on the thing, and I'm turning it off now. K4PW.